Itokazu Taiga, I think Japanese artist. And yeah, this is very interesting, very cool examples of dynamic characters in the fisheye perspective. That's kind of like very strong. Let me take this one. Yeah. So we have like very dynamic poses, very strong foreshortening. Like this one. So yeah, I think everybody is interested. Like, how can you draw stuff like this? And also, like, talking aside, like, kind of personal thing is like, it's a lot of ways how you can do it, but it's always will be same principles underneath. And these principles I teach here on this channel, like, they definitely make you able to draw stuff like this. Like, hello, Dorian. Yeah, cool. Yeah, everybody should have Scott Robertson book. So, in my series of tutorials, basically they call like perspective for beginners, intuitive perspective. In these tutorials, you can learn all this set of skills you need to for drawing this kind of stuff. And I think it's very clean, very kind of very clear and simple explanations in my tutorials. So it's amazing how actually approachable all this thing. So to quick recall, so what we working with, first of all, it's always about three axes, y, z, and x, right? Because this means 3 dimensions, 3D. So this 3D, we have like object as a like most basic object, most essential, like a zixel. I think in the brush it's called zixel. So it's like pixel but 3-dimensional. So most essential, it's a cube, right? So we have cube. So we have 3D exist like, you know, like a particle and wave. 3D, it's same time it's a space and the object. So we have 3D as a cube, and we have 3D as a perspective grid. So cube stands for object as most essential object, and perspective grid, let's make like this y, z, and x, right? So we have like perspective grid. It's a space. So it's how we represent space and objects. It's basically which is like a drawing boxes and perspective grids. Так, so grid. So speaking about this, I was mentioning about like what you need to know about working with objects, working with boxes. It's number one is this like very insightful crayons cubes. Crayons cubes. It's like ABC or high school table of calculations like you study in first grade. You know, so when you learn to sum 2 equal 4, to sum 3 equal 6. So Crayons cubes, it's like that. If you want to work with 3D objects in 3D space, crayons cubes is like this, like a very essential grammar. And it's only important to understand what is the point with work with them. And I explain it in the tutorials like perspective for beginners. Because here is just what's the point, let's say, quick recall. Because crayons cubes, it's about rotation. And also, when you practice draw them, you establish this essential sense of proportion. So you can kind of recall, you can always draw cube in any angle. So when you want to draw like different box in different proportion, you start to see it like, let's say like a cube, 1.5 cubes, for example, right? So like if I have this cube like 45, so I draw this, I know exact what is angle, and this have like a two rotations. So this cube is 45-degree rotated vertically and a 45-degree rotated horizontally, right? So we have like two rotations, 45 angle. Then I can do like box which will be exactly with a ratio of 1.5 cubes. Then I can kind of play around with this, like, right? I can do like third, like 1/3 of this cube and stuff like that. So it's just important to have like ability to control proportions. You need to have this like a ground. You need to anchor, establish this clear feeling of a cube. And the crayons, this chart with the crayons cubes give you this like very easy. It's so easy and simple. It's hard to believe that this is problem for, you know, like everybody have very funny problem. Everybody seeking for like super insights, like tricks and magic tricks. But when they see them, like a teacher give you, say, this is a trick. It's super easy. It's in your face. It's very easy and it is very easy practice. But you need to do it. And everybody say, okay, I want to go somewhere else. No, it's just like you want it, take it, but you need to work with it. Nothing will be like for free. Just I want to be a good artist without any practice and stuff, right? So it's impossible. So crayons cubes, and second is like intuitive perspective. Intuitive perspective. So this is kind of like a Kim Jong-ki stuff, like when you draw all these boxes without drawing perspective grids, without like defining any like perspective lines. You just stacking boxes, and then you start from cubes, then you go to more complex boxes. But I think it's always better when you do crayons cubes first, especially if you have like zero experience, because it will have you learn clear idea about like each time you draw box and you think about which is the angle of this box, like according to camera, according to viewer, how this box is positioned, like how it's rotated, how many degree. It's amazing, very. I mean, you can imagine like how important, how useful this knowledge, but it's again, crayons cubes make it learn very easy, like unbelievably easy. So intuitive perspective, I have this like series of videos. Start from number 1, watch about intuitive perspective. You can also Google this artist on YouTube, have very nice tutorials about intuitive perspective. How's his name? Just forget in a moment. Wait a second. Forget, remind me in the comments. Just he have very nice short videos. I will write in the comments. Remind me if I forget. So about objects, right? So very important is feeling of ratio. So okay, let's say rotation, ratio, and kind of like overlapping, right? So and a grid, okay, it's just again it's super easy. You just learn and remember each grid. Perspective grid is like it's almost like a character. It's just like you remember like uh how A looks, how I don't know in English how you write cursive. Uh, some Chinese, let's say, like Chinese character, right? So you just kind of remember it's like a combination of marks and a sequence, especially with Chinese. When I was studying Chinese characters, which I very bad with Chinese characters, but it gave me very interesting experience inside. It's just they teach Chinese characters. You need to learn them always follow proper sequence. It's really help you to remember when you study it in the right sequence. You're not trying to remember it how to draw it just by the look. No, you study it in like from step one to last step. You need to follow exactly proper sequence. So same with perspective grid. So it's like starting from like super easy grid when you just like 1 point perspective like this, right? So and going to fisheye, let's say when we have curved horizon line, we have this go like this. So I need to remember not only elements of this perspective grid, but also sequence. What is sequence of building this perspective grid? It really helps a lot. It's very important. It's not like afterwards. You don't need to all your life to draw it in the same sequence, but for remember, it really helps a lot. So here's kind of we have this fish eye, this curved horizon line. And I talk about this in all this video. So you like this, right? Like this kind of like is hieroglyphs kind of. You learn all this perspective grid, start from 1 point and to 6 point perspective. So, and here, Itokazu Taiga, he kind of using this curved horizon line, 6 point, kind of like 5 point plus perspective. Anyway, it's always fish eye. And so after you study from my tutorials, it's kind of easy. So, and here, what he do exactly what I was talking in the previous tutorials about how to draw figure in a perspective. And sometimes your character or object can be aligned with the perspective grid. Sometimes it's like partially aligned. For example, like it's only one axis follow connected with your perspective grid, but other axis not connected. So you need to able to see it. So let me give you example. So for example, here, like here we have like x, they share same x axis. Так. So you can see kind of this. So it's our x-axis. And then I just guess something like y-axis will be here. So what important here is actually it's not much environment here, right? So it's not so important here, this. And so you don't even need like y and z-axis. So all these figures here, how they kind of like align in together, they kind of synchronize with same x-axis, like again like these boxes, let's say. Так. So let's say just make simple. So let's say we have this box here. Так. So his head kind of. So like an exercise about drawing intuitive perspective, cubes in intuitive perspective, when you just like draw, let's say, overlapping and just like draw them in random angles, right? So this already make it three-dimensional. It make illusion of a properly organized perspective because it's look volumetric. They're kind of like exist in a real space, right? But no perspective grids, nothing, just overlapping boxes. But in this case, you see, I'm not completely random angles. It's like you can rotate them, but their x, this kind of x, should be aligned. It should be parallel. So here he has this perspective grid, and he drew like them like three-dimensionally. It's like whatever angle, just make this x-axis of box or cube, make it parallel. Another kind of nuance, of course, what make it difficult here is just like I'm talking about like a torso, kind of, right? So if we can say if torso is not rotated, so we have like this and head, for example, here, they're like parallel to each other. But these legs, they're not parallel to torso and pelvis. He kind of like spread them. So this is another element. But this already kind of going into second category. It's already kind of like detail or nuance. So if we're just talking about major blocks, as major blocks, this like say like him, her, and him on the front plan, it's like three boxes in general. They following this X. See what I mean? So it's like when it's like if you put them in a package, pack them in a box. So that's why it's like it's always you go like more and more complexity. So this thing is very confusing if you have problem with the Kranz cubes, if you have problem with perspective grid, because it's like it's too many nuances to consider simultaneously. And if you already very fluent with some of these basics, it's less problems you need to solve in the moment. So this kind of process of hierarchy of volume, it's also this kind of thing. It's little like next level thing. Like first, like what we see in the Kim Jong-gi, like he like often show in his tutorials, like he draws this box, and then like he draw people in a box, and you're like, wow, how he built kind of people in a box. It's not about like a building, it's just about idea, concept of a rotation, just like from which kind of like angle we see this figure. So where is like this edge, like edge on a figure. It's like, can you see bottom? Like here we see bottom, like a bottom of a box. Bottom, like we can see chin from like we're looking from up, all right? Also, it's about access. So it's not about like you're absolutely like build every element of this figure, make it like super um like Scott Robertson drawing like all this cross section, and you build like all figure with cross section. No, at least you need to just to understand clearly, like, okay, here is bottom part, here we have this edge which separates from side front side from left side, for example, right? And this, you see, it's already this kind of box principle. And then we see if figure have like strong convergence or moderate convergence. So we can, now we're talking about perspective grid. Now we're talking about like how this axis behave. Like it's a vanishing point is very close or vanishing point is far. This kind of idea is here. And then when you kind of solve figure uh, like in general what happened here, right? Yeah, then you can also actually go to second level kind of, and you see like, oh, actually it's like his hand have like different boxes with different angles. They're not actually parallel, they're not following perspective grid of this big box. They have like different angles, and maybe like turn head, maybe there is some elements like on the clothes, pouches kind of, you know. So all these different boxes, and it's they're not parallel, they're not following perspective grid. It's more like in a category of intuitive perspective when you just stack in boxes. So like for him, let's say, can just add kind of this kind of boxes. So it's like he's holding some gun, you know. It's just need to understand these principles. Так, so, but also I see interesting. These boxes actually should follow this X. So it will be kind of this. Так. So so I was talking in one previous video. It's like, let's say, these types. When you draw figure, just like intuitive stack of boxes. So let's say here have this guy. So it became like very fluent, very fun, because you just draw this overlapping boxes and subdivide how many you want. And then here, let's say, so I even actually, like, you see, being like very loose with proportions, just to rely on this previous experience, just guessing it. And here, more you just in general have experience of drawing, just drawing at all, you will have better sense of this stuff. So we have one type is like when you draw a figure like this, just stack boxes. You can start with a practice drawing like robots or creatures. Don't try them to look like very good realistic figures, because this will make you like more frustrated. Just draw like random creatures which like look similar like a human. So you draw just figure like that, and you draw absolutely random perspective grid, absolutely unrelated. So here I just absolutely randomly draw this fisheye perspective. So here let's make Y vanishing point. That's it. So you don't need to synchronize them when you draw this kind of picture. It's a one type, right? So it's like when they are not related. I have like this examples before a lot. Hello, avoid. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, anyway, the previous videos. So, and the second type, it's like I show it can be partially synchronized. So let's say, okay, let's again make this kind of shy perspective. So our vertical y-axis, this z. Так. So let's make now, okay. Um, Now I will do like synchronize with z. So, I don't know, let's see. This one will be like a head. let's even legs. So when you do this kind of stuff first time, give yourself permission to draw very silly, very awkward figures. Don't expect and like don't make these crazy requirements for yourself. Like you never draw this because you don't have any reference. You just randomly like generate super dynamic pose, right? So give yourself permission to make it look like funny. And sometimes you will actually be wrong. Sometimes you think it looks bad, but after later you look at just it's not bad, but actually just unusual. So it's just your conformist being raging against it. So it wasn't kind of tuck here a little change angle here. Let's back. So let's be like gone here. So sometimes it's just you think it's bad, but it's not bad. It's just something your brain uh, not get accustomed yet. So he's just kind of nervous. Okay, so here you see it's been all I make them attach to this perspective grid. So this all the axis of this only here I did mistake this one, right? So they kind of like follow in this perspective grid. Only one axis. So two other axes totally random. So yeah, and then like easiest, of course, you can just make if your figure absolutely like static, it can be totally parallel to perspective grid. But this is like very boring situation. So it's like standing straight, parallel to building, kind of, right? So let's say so basically it just will be like very rare case when you will draw like super static figure in fisheye. So you see it's kind of like every axis of a cube or box, it's parallel to perspective grid. And you can, okay, maybe he's like extend. So Minecraft is like shooting other Minecraft guy. It's like always have been this meme. Так. So with that, we can analyze Itokazu Taiga. So let's make a break here. 1 second.
Madness. This is Jane Bond art.
Okay, let's start with this. So I just want to show you how this, first of all, it's like stacks overlapping boxes. And also, like took recently workshop from Nine Monkeys, Ryan Berry. He kind of like explained how such stuff is done. So it's finally was for me is clear. It's just intuitive boxes. So without overthinking. So how to make it without overthinking, and how actually artists doing it. Right, so let's take this one. Okay. So you need to know which part is closest. So it's like here, this hand and a fingertip, kind of, right? So you see this like fingertips, they're like closer. So we know like how overlapping it goes. So in her case, it's like we have this wrist. So again, here you start applying this logic of cube's rotation. So how like here, wait a second, here can show. So here you see like this, right? Then okay, it's like 45 angle. Then it's like this angle. So you need to have clear feeling of this. So here it's like I showing you like top. Here I show you side. This one in between is 45. Then here I show you top. Then here I show you like 45. And then I show you 45 vertically, kind of. And also 45 horizontally. So you see it's kind of like this crayon's cube. Right now I show you this like my hand in a position like that. Let me a second. Maybe I can show you another example. No, that's right. Так. So here her wrist kind of in this position, this palm, right? So then we have like two finger. It's also you can draw them like long boxes, or you can subdivide them in two or as many boxes you want. So you can say it's like this. So double check. So I see like a finger, right? So I can draw her finger like this. You see? So it's like crayon's cube, like this logic. So we see like very little of a top. Or I can draw her finger like this. So it's like this crayon's cube. So just I hope you understand this logic here. So okay, when we look at her finger, right? You see, it's not a cube, it's not a box, but like I tell you with my hand, your brain already know. We already know everything like intuitively. So just ask yourself, like, can you see like top of her finger? Yeah, I would say I can see. Yeah. So it's this situation. So and this what you need to check every time, kind of like when you looking for it, right? So it's like what kind of angle. And this angles is not about perspective grid here, right? It's about just position according viewer, like according camera. Just what you just look in the front, or you look like 45, or like vertically, like this kind of, right? Boom. Just KO on the stream. Так, so then we have like two other fingers, right? Again, it's like at first you can just like simplify it, because here is like one more step I didn't mention yet, is like we how to draw like line art, right? It's kind of another nuance. So okay, first you have these boxes here, then we'll look for her hand here. Again, it will be like a box, so let's say like 45, like this. So we follow and overlapping, so it's like go closer, then like kind of on the same level, then this one is go further. So then I look like, okay, what kind of rotation? It's like I can see top like this, or no, or I will not see, I will see it like this. Make it clear. You need, even if you're not sure what you see in the reference, for yourself it should be clear, because you cannot show box like this. So if you show box like this, it means it's like turned to like no, bent, like it's been bent, right? So me, because I want to make this kind of movement this way, right? So I make it like this, so it feels like it's going farther, like again in these videos about intuitive perspective, like one cube go here, so other cube goes there, so they kind of like moving inside, you see? So we have this kind of movement. It's like basic intuitive perspective stuff. So then we look like for her torso. And again, okay, so this torso situation is like, it's kind of like this. In the from Crane's cubes, it's like this. It's like we have like mostly exposed this top of a box. And we see very little from this side, we see little from front side. Так. So then also like each of these boxes can be in their own perspective kind of, because again it's like without overthinking it will works. You just like need to instead of making it scientific, when you want to really calculate perspective of each cube and align them together, you just better practice drawing them and intuitively make it looks correct, right? So as long as it works, nobody care. So if it looks realistic, if it looks proper, it's all you need. So you see we have like cube for her torso, cube for her pelvis, and then leg. And now, okay, so it's this kind of movement go here like this, right? So we have like let's go and go down far like this. So kind of create movement of these boxes like here, right? So it's just like it's moving away. So and now okay, let's also attach head. So head is kind of like deeper, farther from camera than hand, but closer than torso. So you kind of you can look of like a direction of this flow going from torso towards us, or from it's just kind of again intuitive thing. And again, like this head is like distorted box, some kind of this. Okay, so it's like pretty much distorted fisheye head here. Kind of this look, because it's definitely like this area, it's exaggerated, and the bottom of a box, it's small. So it's this kind of. So basically it is. So you can do it as exercise, like find your favorite artist and break it down into blocks like this. You can draw your own pictures like this as underline sketch to build perspective kind of your characters. Or at least you need to understand that this structure is always there. And then it's another case, it's kind of like another skill you need to practice. It's how to draw shapes. Like, because it is another skill is just to draw good shapes. It's like quality of your line art. So let's see. So here, this like perspective, these cubes, they not guarantee good shapes. They not guarantee good line art, good, nicely looking illustration, but it's allow you to make it good. Is this kind of like important grammar which allow you to make this kind of work, right? You cannot skip it if you want to make this kind of dynamic stuff. You cannot imitate understanding of this. Like everybody can see. Like, do you really see form? Do you have this clear idea of how form here is interplay? Or you don't understand and you try to kind of imitate some perspective. So also you see this kind of case with drawing folds, hair, all the stuff is just another subject. Так. I forget it. You also have like, so for breast is kind of also you can draw them like cubes. Так. There's a funny kind of examples from crayons, and he also shows like draw breasts as a cubes, because like it's geometry. It is, like I say, because every object, right? So it means like where is front, when is top, when is side, and stuff like that. Hello, super cool. Так. So here it's kind of interesting. Like if you practice, like I have a lot of this kind of drawings when I was just I like I have like this million screenshots and save illustration of my favorite artist from who I practice line art. Just to not here. something, I don't know, even like this and like this. So I like how they draw some shapes, how they draw line art of some stuff like this. Just sometimes it's just like some special effects, how they draw in forms, how they show in muscle, stuff like that. So it's like without any perspective, without any 3D, just kind of practice this 2D language of line art, right? And interestingly, like when you have this practice, it's very good connected with this thing. Because like if you're able just draw without perspective, just let's say like and draw like some kind of like just like again like kind of like a symbol, some girl head kind of, let's say, right? So then I can draw this head following distortion of 3D form. You see, all I will do is just like make this part smaller, this part bigger, or this kind of. So let's say I can like, so make like a very small mouse here. You know, just we'll just kind of like following this distortion of a box. Basically, it is like so simple. It's kind of this intuitive. So this is what I'm kind of doing, trying to do here, right? So we have this jaw. So when you just practice drawing, copying, and like faces, hands, anything like clothes in a normal perspective, it's also became your kind of like visual library you can use when you draw like very extreme perspective. So you see, it's just like kind of trying to follow this like how like proportions of facial elements will change because of this current perspective situation. So it's again, it's like kind of simple idea. So most of cases, everything is simple like this, but it's what is difficult about it. It's not only one thing. It's like 5 or 10 things together. It's like 10 simple things at the same time, like a juggling. It's like, yeah, I can like drop and catch one pen very easy, right? But when it's like two objects, oh, okay, for me without any practice, it's already kind of like impossible. It's like catch one, it's like, no, I can't. But it's a simple idea, right? So same here. It's like idea is very simple, and you can deal with each of this problem itself very easily. But then it became for you like very overwhelming and like break all your system when you need to deal with them simultaneously. Your brain not ready. So this is why you need this practice. It's to train your brain to be able to deal, to solve all these simple tasks together in same time. Так. So here she has. Так. Okay, so yeah, same with this one. Just look. Can just a fun experiment is drawing shapes over boxes in your fingers. And etc. Так, so let's see. Same, let's take this guy. Так. So we have like his elbow. I kind of take as like his elbow is the most closest to camera. Then we have second box here. Then we have let's say like this. Then finger. So no perspective grids, just intuitive perspective, just stacking boxes. Same now you see like this I call like handle and guard. It's also kind of boxes. So this is it's not a box, it's like or it's like very flat box, right? Like a kind of like a stack of paper, right? It's like it's a very flat box. And then we have one more box move out from it. So it's very easy when it's only boxes. No anatomy, no perspective grids, whatever. You just stick in boxes. Then for his head, yeah, it seems again it's like kind of 45. 45. So you need this kind of practice just to teach yourself to be flexible so you can deconstruct. You can detach from direct perception. Because, like, you see it's a head, and you start to overthink it. It's like start to think, oh, head have a bones, there is a muscles, and it should look like real head. You say no. I need only geometry. That's it. So you work with geometry. So then we have like torso. Here I can even like draw him pelvis, leg, stuff like that. So that's it. You see, it's just like composition of boxes on a page, right? And then like I can take other pencil and start to make like 2D sketch for myself, and it will be like about arranging this composition of 2D shapes, right? It's like overlapping shapes instead of 3D forms, because it's also important here. Or me in this case, to save time, I kind of just go directly to drawing lines. So yeah, and also keep in mind when you study, when you copy your favorite artist, uh, often, often there is a lot of mistakes. So if it looks like cool for you and very, I mean, it's very impressive and very like great artistic work and stuff, but it doesn't mean it's flawless, like talking about principles, right? And opposite actually. So when usually like pretty normal situation, it's like when we have good work and it's have a lot of errors. So just don't consider artist works as perfect examples of some principles. Instead, like you learn how to draw actual work, yeah, then it's a perfect example for learning how to draw actual work. But if you like study perspective or anatomy, sometimes you learn not like how to make it properly, but how to like how much mistakes you can actually do and nobody will notice. This is kind of what you can learn from copying other artists. Because sometimes mistakes is just crazy there. Anyway, so Так. Yeah, again, so you see the like head. Like strong foreshortening. And then how he feel. Так. Okay. This one. So then exactly same thing happened, but plus perspective grid in these situations. Так. So here he have low horizon, right? So here's low horizon. Then this one is like X vanishing point, and this one is Z vanishing point. Так. So here he bended like this. Um, yeah, and the Y vertical is almost just like this, just straight vertical lines. You see, vertical, they just kind of straight. So then here it's like mainly this what happened. It's like in general they're parallel, like all elements here they're parallel to this x-axis. So we can see like have, let's take other color. So like have hand here, this palm, then we have kind of like this, right? Like hand, overlapping, going farther, going farther, going farther. So it's like, again, it's just like this stack of boxes, like overlapping and kind of like moving away, like gradually, like moving away, right? But all this x-axis of each box should be parallel to this following kind of x vanishing point here. So this is kind of nuance. So same, we have this figure and its torso kind of like parallel, and even with head. So let's now draw it. So here is again like very random boxes. I mean, like I don't care about align these boxes with perspective grid, but only this x-axis align with perspective grid. So have these fingers. So here again, I will like just to make it more clean kind of, right? So I turn everything into boxes. It's kind of like under close. Same with this head. So like I tell in my video about intuitive perspective and drawing figures and background, it's really beneficial exercise to kind of like boxify everything so you can see like how they actually arrange. Так. So here we have this. This is like feet is like can simplify into two boxes. So and they all go into this x vanishing point. So and yeah, maybe this hand is like random, but no, actually also align. So it's kind of pelvis, torso, rib cage. Here's hand. Так. You see? Так. And again, like here, I don't teach you like how to draw anime style. So my anime or manga line art very very ugly. So just give you quick demo like how it look step by step, right? So you make your range perspective, and then you can put over your line arts. So it's kind of this understanding, this ability is just allow you to create your own stuff, and also like when you break down works like this, it's a very fast road kind of for your own drawing this kind of picture. Так. Так. Yeah, it's like Sakuga animation here. So process it's simple as this, as I show you. So best way without overthinking it, without like just wasting your time for some weird studies. Just boxes and shapes. And you just need more practice of implementing it. Just try to draw your own this kind of works. So which will look like your favorite artist work. Так. Like it's really so dynamic. I'm like almost feel like I'm flying out from a chair. It's crazy. Like too dynamic. Так, so draw some environment. Here. Here broke my grid. Hello, God. How God works. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, same like this one. It's the same principle. Let's do this one. Same here. We have like low horizon. He make it like curved. And it's here it feels like I think it's not like super proper perspective grid. Feels like he being like pretty loose with this. Maybe he don't even have any grid. So let me show you. So for this one, horizon line. Okay, yeah, so it's kind of this are grid we need. It's like X grid. So X vanishing point somewhere here outside. And basically all. So we don't even need Y and the Z vanishing points here. Так. So let's create this grid. So this horizon line and here X below horizon line. So this dude rib cage. Так. Yeah, maybe make it a little higher. So this rib cage little higher here. Then pelvis, we kind of see it from the bottom. Maybe kind of this. Okay. So then these two legs, they are not parallel to this X. So you just draw set of boxes. Так. Have box here. Box here. Again. Feet made of two boxes. Then this one for his head is like, yeah, it's like if crayon's cube is kind of this like 45 and kind of this. Or maybe it's totally like everything 45. Like 45 in every direction like this. Так. Now again it's parallel to this. Так. So forehand again, so we have like this kind of gesture line, like it's like how these boxes will be stacking. So you can start with some kind of pipes and then turn these pipes into boxes. So it's like always this simple principle of overlap in boxes. Так, so wrist is kind of this. Okay. So here we have Naruto. Так, let's put it here. So his rib cage, his pelvis, and then legs into boxes for feet. You see again kind of following this X. Again, so arms have this like direction, and then we look like which sides we can see. We see like both top and side of his arm. Так, it's a bit too sharp. So it's also like require you again like focus and remind yourself like you don't draw here any anatomy, you don't try and draw like pretty characters. At first just make sure you properly kind of like arrange this just sequence, like what go first and what go after, what directions they go, and what rotation of each box according viewer, so which kind of sides exposed. So this box, right, we see bottom, we see front, we see side, and I manage make sure it's parallel to this x-axis. That's it. So I have like very clear task. I don't try to make anything more than that. So it's very important to narrow down your task. It's kind of like mental training. Is this mental training make you more efficient, more professional? Because like every amateur lacking this skill. They can't control, can't focus. They just want to do everything together, just like without control, without a limit. It's like, oh, I just want to draw like pretty and not only proper work, but also pretty and everything together at the same time. Hold your horses, no rush. You will be able to do this, but like with a juggling. Like if you from beginning you try to juggle like 10 objects simultaneously, you kind of like, you know how to say, it's you program yourself to fail. It's inevitable fail. So, or be at least you need to be like aware of it. And when you fail, you say like, yeah, what did I expect? I tried to juggle with 10 objects without any juggling experience. Or try to juggle one or two objects at first. Так. So here. And that's why you need to watch my perspective for beginners tutorials and really do all homework I recommend, because this is kind of training that will make you improve, like guarantee. Так. So, and if you first time here, follow, subscribe, share. You also can become member of a channel, like very cheap, like cost of one coffee cup in the month. But there are also some extra videos. And for me, it's like, yeah, I always kind of like, it's motivating to have money from channel, you know. Because like even like this camera I buy from this money. It's like exactly like 2 months from this YouTube channel. I get money enough to buy a new camera. Так, so that's it. You see, so we have this like crazy boxes, raging boxes flying around. Так, yeah. Yeah, I hear this analogy also talking like it's like driving bicycle and juggling at the same time. This is what kind of being artist is. So you just take a lot of different tasks and do them together. And it's kind of like you making one mark, but to know which exact mark you need to do is like, you know, it's like in the you can make movie when it's like time is slow, like in this Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey, and it's like very slow. You move your head, and in your brain it's like 1,000 operations, like perspective, design, composition, like so you make already like dozens decision before you lay each mark. Так. So this why it's like in general, just being smart is very important for artists. So every time when you see good artwork, which is like really like refined, it's so amazing, like nuanced or like so clever ideas there. Yeah, you can say this guy is smart. So it's not about any kind of like here is no accidents. It's only like accident you like been lucky born smart, so you have potential, or you like Michael Jordan, I think he say, right? Like say like um luck comes when you have enough training. So you train your brains instead of waste your time doing stupid stuff and alcohol, drugs, all the stuff, they're destroying your brain. So whatever people say, whatever there's like discussion. But speaking about long term, it's for sure. Like I'm sure like for long term, like every no matter what kind of substances you're talking about, they all kind of like make you stupid eventually. So, but kind of like developing your brains, practice, use your brains, all this like making decision, analysis, reading books, learning history, stuff like that. Just make your head busy with useful information and useful practice. This will make you better artist. Так, so here. Like this crayons, for example. Like this dude is like he have like a brain of engineer, you know. So you need brains for art. Так. Brains. All you need is brains, brains. Так. Not all you need, but don't forget you need brains. Because I think it's not uh, so often stated. It should be mentioned. It's important. Like lazy mind, it's a number one issue, number one problem for artists. You will never go nowhere if you're lazy to think as artist. So don't kind of don't think this like, oh, perspective, I need to use my brain for perspective. Yeah, and this is great. It's great because this like you train your brain through perspective. So you are lucky, like you have tool and you know exactly this tool help you to train your brain, to make your brain kind of faster work, process information kind of, and stuff like that. Yeah, discipline and dedication. So um, everybody can learn this. It's just question of time. So if you're able to do like draw like 8 hour every day focus, like really focus drawing, like on a subject, you will crack it very fast. But if you like, maybe you're not so disciplined, or you're distracted, or you just have a lot of other stuff to care about, maybe you are like need to work, you have children and stuff like that, so you just physically will be no, you distracted, you cannot work so much focus on it. It will just take longer, that's it. But if you will keep doing it, you will learn it. That's for sure. Uh, It's kind of like it for me. It was some kind of like matter of belief. I just keep like inspiring myself, like telling me this must be true because I read it in the books and I hear it from every artist who teach art. But then I start to see it myself that it works this way because I start to see results. I have so many art directions which feels like for decade for me like it feels hopeless because I've been like studying it so long, I keep trying it, and it's always far from what I want. But I keep kind of attacking it, you keep like attacking this thing. It's like saying, okay, maybe I will do it this way, maybe I'll try it this way, maybe I need to read some other book, maybe I need to find some more information. So you never give up, you just keep trying to figure it out, keep practicing it, and eventually you see it's really start to works. It's like for me it's like colors, anatomy. It's like I'm still like not there where I want, but I move like very far from this ground zero I have with anatomy and colors. Now I have like very good idea of colors, and soon they will be so good, so I will be totally happy with them. Kind of, yeah, I mean like a foreign language. I mean, imagine like if you can speak your language, so you can learn foreign language. It's kind of like all you need to know. And then it's just like how much time you have and like which approach you take, its nuances. But it's inevitable if you dedicate to it. Так, Yeah, hello, Kyle. So here's it. Nice. So так, here's close. Так, and here one more dude. Yeah, so if you want to draw like a Itokazu Taiga, make breakdowns like I do. So yeah, maybe it will be not so fast how I should, but yeah, at least make first part, like break it down into boxes. And when do line art, like when you do all the stuff first time, just don't make too much kind of requirements for yourself. Just say like, okay, yeah, let it be funny and weird, like I do right now. Is like it's absolutely float. It's not like perfect drawings here. So only I would say as like, yeah, make give permission for yourself to make it not perfect, but try to make it clean. Don't make it messy. Don't draw like no. Try everything make clean, like box, box. You know, just clean lines. Same line art. Try to make clean. So in this way, it's like not perfect but clean. So make it habit for yourself to just make clean quality work. Так, oh yeah, so let's do this. Так, yeah, so now we go for this one. So in this now it's like detach. We have perspective grid and figure. They're kind of detached from each other. Так. So let's see. Ah, or no. Okay, take my word back. No, there is some alignment with the y-axis. Okay, yeah. So okay, so here we have select horizon line and y vanishing point. So here is a z vanishing point. Right. Dun, 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 dun. And the axis here. So this perspective grid for this picture here. Okay. And so here we have this guy, his leg, his shoe, kind of, let's say like here, right? Then we have this kind of leg go here, pelvis, rib cage, head. So you see again like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, like overlapping movement, kind of. Then same happen with the hand here. So have like this part, this part, this part. So how I show you, this how you draw it. So it's not, I don't measure it. Like I don't use any ruler kind of to measure how proportion change, right? And just kind of like guessing it and make them look believable. So you can only say like, okay, maybe it's like if you can also use models. Wait a second. Here. Yeah. So it's not again, you see, it's like how to use it. It's not like it gives you everything you need. No, but it can give you some certain idea. So we can take okay, this guy, what kind of pose, right? So he kind of standing like this. He's pushing this way in his hand here, kind of, right? This kind of we have this pose. So this is so paint. So you see, I kind of like use figure pose kind of in a similar, and I can see just like how far this arm can go. So and I say, okay, so it doesn't go much farther than this Botox kind of, right? So and we look right. So here draw arm, so it doesn't go farther too much from his S. Sorry for French, right? So this kind of like just can help you to have this like idea of arrangement. So it's almost impossible to, I mean, it's like it's so much problem trying to find exactly same pose with same angle, but you at least you can see how physically how you can turn this figure and where will be. So if like he bent his arm like this, So okay, so he kind of like his hand about distance of his buttocks. This kind of what we have here. Bruce Lee energy. So then here, like he's like here, kind of like it should be not exactly like following this y-axis, but okay, let's make it follow it. No, it's here. So then let's go here. So we have 1, 2, 3. Then we have this guy here. So you see how much it look like a box. Just this green guy. What is this? It's just like a freaking box. Look like um he being like compressed into box. So okay, anyway. Oh, so now this shapes I turn into boxes. Так. So we have this shoe. So each of this box kind of have its own position. Like I just look how they arrange to each other. And only what connects these boxes with perspective grid, it's a y-axis. It's this, you see? This y-axis connects. Так, so here we have, again, you see, like just break your desire uh, to draw all these complex shapes. Turn it into box. Так, so then you have this box. Are XYZ coordinates always fixed in space? So it's like stage. Yeah, let's say like perspective grid is your stage for your scene. So you kind of like establish stage in which your situation unfolds. This what is in general, again in general, because you can have like a couple perspective grids simultaneously. Yeah. So again, it's like you see, you can sometimes go to these questions and they can very confuse you. Like for somebody can sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, but you will never understand this stuff if you just don't have enough practice. Because for us, this is very practical first of all, and if you not practice it, um, a lot of very useful information will not make sense for you. It will just sounds like useless. Так, so and here this box, this guy, which look like a box, you see is also following this y-axis. Так. and he even can have vanishing point. If we want, can make vanishing point for him. Yeah. Yeah, you can watch my video like how to draw perspective underwater. So if you draw like environment underwater and how to draw perspective in a space. So this like very interesting cases kind of to better understand all these principles and perspective. Because like you draw in a space, right? Where is horizon line in a space? Because we don't have water in a space. We don't have ground in a space. Or water also, like what happened underwater. It's kind of very cool puzzles. So here we have this guy. So then kind of like it's this figure look like weird proportions actually. Okay, let's follow. It's kind of this. So now we have in these boxes, right? Let's turn them into objects, into shapes. Так. So this is our seal. It's funny pens I draw. So on here, have this guy. Так. So in here, this lines on the ground, following perspective grid. This like stadium. H and H. Yeah, I don't know what this is, like Naruto or something like this. Totally don't know story. Так. Oh, this one. So here I find like 3 variations of this. So I don't know like where is original, where is copy or whatever. Seems like this original scene. But anyway, here like we can see curve horizon, so we can see vanishing point here, and probably here. Yeah.
Who are you?
Bond. Jim Bond.
Так. So let's do this one. Так. So it's kind of like Naruto running style with the hands behind. It's like a taken base. How it was like when like many Naruto fans was running into military base with UFO. Так. So here we have X. Here's Z. Так. So it's kind of perspective grid here. I don't see, it's not clear about why vanishing point, but it can be like here, for example. Let's just imagine if it's here. Так. So now again we have this one closest to us, then next farther, next farther, then go pelvis, then rib cage. So you see you need to arrange overlap and head. So chew this part, rib cage, head. And then can start from pelvis and draw second leg, again overlapping, like go here, and a shoe, and then hands. So it's like, I think it's like here, here, and here. And this one is like here, here, here. So and now turn it into boxes. So these boxes, they follow an X. Again, this is, and just notice. So this will follow this X axis. So like this. So whatever angle they have, they all should follow this X vanishing point. Right, so here have first for two, так, then pelvis, it's this angle, and then rib cage, this angle, then head, kind of this angle. Так. So his hand palm here look like this, some kind of this box. Так. No, I don't like extenders. Так. Train finger muscles. You know, in case if you like suddenly need to self-defense, you can like firmly grip your pencil to protect yourself. Так. So you see, like here we have this direction. So again, repeat clear important task here is to make clear arrangement of these objects, like kind of look like they're arranged in a 3D space because they're clearly following each other. Like we have this stacking, overlapping. Yeah, so kind of this. So then now when we have these boxes, if you want, you can take pencil and start to draw your kind of clothes, shapes, composition for 2D shapes, because 2D shapes, it's also important. Kind of you need to compose them. But I will just kind of shortcut. Yeah, you never know, because like I was in Russia and there is every artist has these funny cases about fighting or nearly fighting when they draw outside. Because kind of ironically for artists, like most interesting places to draw often is some kind of like old streets with rotten constructions. I don't know, at least like in my hometown, it's like things arranged in a way, it's like corrupted governments, they just want all like old architecture to be rotten so they can build some shopping malls or big very big complex with apartments. So they kind of like let these old districts to become like poor criminal. So, and we artists go there and want to draw some very nice old architecture, and there's some kind of gangs, drunk people are walking everywhere. Only like I can say, like in the daytime, it's kind of more or less safe because they're sleeping like werewolves from Michael Jackson Thriller music. Так, so yeah, then so you can also like organize each finger separately. It was one artist from Moscow arrived to my hometown, also like want to walk around, look all streets, and here some dudes like look at him and he's like, you know, like he clearly not local because he's kind of dressed too fancy, and they're like screaming at him like, "Hey, you, stop!" And he's like, "Oh my god, it's a bullies. No, I will not stop." I will just keep walking and they will ignore me. So he keep walking, and he kind of like, okay, partially he get lucky because they're being lazy to chasing him, but they're just start to throwing bricks at him, just like half brick building construction bricks. And he's like, Jaina, they're like, start to throwing bricks at us. Seriously, like there is guys like screaming at you and you just walk. Yeah, it's work with your grandma, but it's not work on a street like this. Don't turn your back. Yeah. Oh, Russia, big country, right? So there you can find everything. There's a lot of nice and fun, but also in same time, it's exactly like they show in the movies with all this anti-utopia, communist anti-utopia. It's really like this, like a junkies, alcoholics everywhere, horrible roads, corrupted police, corrupted government. It's crazy. It's funny, like I've read in the news, like how some Americans go to Russia because they think it's a very conservative country, because you know they believe it's like Putin is kind of macho, traditional. It's the dumbest thing ever to think this way. But some people, like, they need to go themselves to see themselves, because they think like if their like liberal media is lying, so then everything about Russia is a lie. So in actually it's a paradise. You go to Russia and it's like you just living in a Russia paradise. Super amazing. Play balalaika, watching art in the museums every day, going to ballet, stuff like that. And just start using your brains. Yeah, random. Yeah, you watch my beginner videos for sure. Start from these videos about perspective for beginners. Так. And also, like, I have this, this stuff about breaking down your favorite artist. I always talking about it, and I say it's one of the greatest way to learn art, to develop your own style, and it's very fast because you work directly with the outcome you want to achieve. You look, oh, I want to draw this kind of dynamic angles, so you go directly and break it down how you do it, you draw it yourself. So now you have this experience, now it's in your fingers, in your brain, right? So this is like super essential practice. Yeah. Okay, so I think if you want, can ask me, like I will do like part 2. So we'll draw more of Itokazu Taiga, more breakdowns for today finish. Yeah, I will, yeah, maybe I can do like one more part, and I will talk also like how they use this kind of references. So I prepare, so you see. And also there is application on iPad Pro, maybe not only Pro, just application for iPad.
Bond.
So in this application also very convenient to make poses and just kind of like to clarify for yourself angles. Like, kind of like overestimate his abilities. So that's it. See you next video.